That was excruciating to get all this set up.
It's all right.
No, I don't think it was, because I feel like you were losing confidence in me.
No, I'm just losing steam. It has nothing to do with my confidence in you.
I don't understand why we wait to do this until it's late at night.
Because we put our child to bed at 9:30, and it's been an hour that you've been fucking with it. So just saying.
Well, it's true. We have our own music now to make it official.
Yep.
And
fun stuff. Hilarious.
We also have our first unofficial sponsor of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And by unofficial sponsor, they haven't publicly or even mentioned that they want to sponsor the podcast. We're just going to do a live read in hopes of enticing people to become sponsors of our podcast. And then
Spots are open.
Right. And this week's unofficial sponsor is brought to us by Jimmy Winter Trucking.
Okay.
He's got a truck. He's just a man in a truck, and he trucks.
Yep.
And
listens to the podcast.
He does. And if there's
always comments.
He does. True.
High ranking.
Right. And he has a log truck, and if you need logs or telephone poles or pipe or other long things hauled, he's your man. Because if there's two things that Jimmy's good at, it's trucking and something that rhymes with trucking. From the videos I've seen floating around the internet.
Weird.
He's good at what he does.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for your unofficial support, Jim.
Yep.
And on with the show now that the commercials are over.
Yeah. So, if anyone wants live reads, let us know. We can read them on the air for...
Would they really be live if this is recorded and we put it out later?
No, stop. You're not supposed to say that.
See, this is what I was saying to you earlier. I can't hear it because I forgot the headphones.
Oh.
But you start to whisper.
Okay. Well...
You start to go... shh, 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 shh.
All right, I do the best I can.
And that's
I don't know what to tell. I'm not a holler. I know a lot of people that are close talkers or screamers, and I don't like that.
Now you're probably talking just a little bit too loud.
Oh my God.
See, now you're whispering again.
Make up your fucking mind. Where do you want me to be at?
I want you to be in a normal voice.
Okay, I'm trying to be.
This is why I tried to set up the two microphones, because I'm watching the levels on the screen here.
Okay, but we never had this problem before. And now I have a microphone stuffed in my mouth.
If we're trying to bring on a professional, unofficial sponsor,
we're not trying. Okay.
Like Winter's Trucking.
Yeah.
I want to put out a good quality product.
Okay.
And I don't, I just want it to sound very professional. And I want him to get the most for the money that he's not spending.
Right.
Or the commitment that he hasn't made.
Right.
So
perfect. So I think we're good.
I forgot. What's funny is I ordered a little 2-channel mixer, just a little bitty thing that basically does what this big thing does, but it's just a little guy because it has a USB output and connects into here. Okay. And for whatever reason tonight when I was dinking around in the garage, I found this thing, and I looked and it has a USB output on it. Huh. I did all these years. I've had this 6 years, 7 years. I did not know that I could connect it to my computer like this. Huh. Mostly because I never read the instructions.
Well, I don't even need to respond to that because every woman in the world right now out there who's listening is going, yep. Uh-huh. Yep.
Well, I mean, I made it work.
Shit, I know an hour later.
No, I meant before that.
Just saying. Things come with directions that probably would have told you that in like the third sentence.
It was actually on page 32.
How do you know? You don't know where the manual is. You probably threw it away.
That's the beauty of living in today. No matter what manual you need, you can just go online and download the manual.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
You did not.
The fuck I didn't.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's not up anymore. It was. But, so I feel like we've taken our podcast really up a giant level. 3 weeks in a row. Mm-hmm. From 3
Once
years
a year.
in a row. We've got a real mixer set up going here with 2 microphones like professionals.
Okay.
We have an unofficial sponsor. Mm. And we have opening music.
Okay.
And I even have closing music.
When do you?
Yeah.
When are we going to have a tour bus? That's all I need to be prepared for.
We don't have to go anywhere.
Well, we can.
Why? We can just do it in our kitchen.
All right.
Like we wouldn't have to tour other people's kitchens.
In the winter, it's really cold in our kitchen.
Yeah.
So I'll either have to be wrapped in blankets or have a heater blowing, and then you're like, you can hear the heater. We can't do it.
It's that cold in the kitchen. The floor gets a little cold.
Okay.
All right, whatever. It's fucking hot in here the rest of the time.
It's not bad right now.
Well, no, right now it's actually pretty nice. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Our last week's podcast, tens of views.
Wow.
I mean, we are picking people up. I wouldn't say left and right. I would say mostly just right. But I feel like the next one's going to break through.
We need the lefties.
Yeah, I think that's what we need. I think we got a lot of righties.
Yeah.
And by righties, I mean right-handed people.
I know, that's what I'm talking about.
Well,
I know because I'm a lefty.
Then why don't you get out there and promote? Because when I look at the people who comment, they're almost all my friends.
Well, I know, but half the time I'm afraid to post it and stuff because I have a professional image to maintain.
Oh, really?
And I say the F word a lot on here and stuff, so I'm always afraid customers are going to be like, we can't have that girl in our house because she swears and drinks beer and stuff.
But so do all most of your customers.
Well, not all of them.
Most.
I know, but...
It's not like you're a school teacher or a priest.
I am a priest.
I'm pretty sure we haven't cussed yet on this. We're
I've definitely sworn already.
Nope.
Yes, I have.
I don't think so.
Guaranteed.
Well, if we have, it's been to a minimal.
Okay.
And it wasn't by purpose. I feel like we're cleaning our act up, you know?
I'm not, but okay.
All right.
Especially if we want to talk about the current state of the world in this very moment.
Then
I will be swearing.
Which fucked up current state of the world are you talking about?
Here we go again. With riots and looting and... I mean, I don't think as of right now, 10:40 p.m. Wednesday, September, 23rd? Mm-hmm. Wow, can you hear the dog snoring in the background?
Did you listen to that last night? I listened just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I thought it was me breathing. I'm
no.
like, son of a bitch, you mouth-breathing asshole. Get away from the microphone.
It's definitely the dog snoring. But as of right now, here we go again. The riots don't seem... the peaceful protests don't seem to be as ridiculous yet.
Wait, you mean the peaceful protest?
That two cops have been shot? I know, but I don't know. I haven't seen...
protest.
Well, no, they're not. That's why I said it in air quotes that nobody can see. But at least it's not like giant fires and fireworks and all this crazy shit, but I'm sure it's about to get there.
I don't think it hopefully will on this one. Not. Because they've already called in the National Guard. Well, they were walking down the city yesterday.
Go home. Quit being dickheads. They knew this was coming.
They had a curfew set in, so I don't know exactly what happens, but...
I don't know.
It's fucking bananas.
I don't know. And I'm not a political person, but do these activists understand that this decision was brought down by a grand jury, a collection of the general population that I'm sure includes blacks, whites, Hispanics, everything. Mm-hmm. The general conclusion of a jury was what it was, not the police said this.
The problem,
so let's kill them all.
The problem is
what the hell?
When you're on a jury, you have to go by the facts presented, and the facts presented basically, there's no. The problem is the public has tried those people for shooting and killing that woman without the facts. So the emotional knee-jerk reaction is this woman who, by all accounts of everything that I've seen about her, she seems, the Breonna Taylors who we're talking about, she seems like she was a good person. She had a couple jobs. She was doing good things. And unfortunately, she was, and here's the facts. She was dating a guy,
used to be, yes.
But here's the problem. Was dating a guy who was a known drug dealer fella, had packages delivered to her place even recently before the shooting, and her name was on the search warrant, and he had said that her place was his last known residence, even though he wasn't there. So unfortunately, I feel bad if that was my sister or other relative, and they were shacked up with a piece of shit and they tried to get away from him, and they're tangled up in it. That sucks. And then the other part is the no knock warrant thing, which supposedly, well, it's not supposedly, they actually knocked on the door and said,
3
please
times.
open up. There's a neighbor that heard it, the next door neighbor heard it, and instead of opening the door, they decided to grab a gun because they thought somebody was breaking in, allegedly. They thought somebody was breaking in, and when they knocked down the door, he started shooting at him, her new boyfriend. And then one of the officers gets hit. And here's the fucked up part. Should she have gotten killed? Absolutely not. Everybody can agree. I don't think there's a person that would be like, yep, she got what she deserved.
Right.
Nobody thinks that. It's a fucked up situation.
Right.
And I don't know what you want these poor cops to do if, the one guy that did get charged basically got, the charge that was against him was he just unloaded his weapon into the apartment.
Wanton endangerment, yes, right. But also I feel like they targeted that guy because he had previously been, I believe, fired for some type or put on some type of leave for previous whatever. So, okay, fuck that guy if that's the case. If he's a bad apple in the police department, fuck that guy. Which, here we are. Yes, they are prosecuting him.
But I'm willing to give a little leeway for that guy too, because one of the things that drives me nuts is when I hear the majority of people spout out about this shit. I want to know, have they ever actually been in a fist fight?
I don't know.
I'm thinking of 3 or 4 people who are very vocal on the Breonna Taylor side. No, actually 5 or 6, the more I think about it, who I would guarantee have never been in a single fist fight.
Probably.
And the reason...
See how things escalate, you mean?
Well, that and to see how once your adrenaline's going and you're being attacked and you're not thinking. And of course we expect our cops to be trained and be able to deal with that situation and not overreact. But if somebody just got shot in front of you, your partner, you're already at 11 with adrenaline. So I'm willing to give the dude a little bit of leeway. At some point, she shouldn't have been killed, but at some point you have to take some responsibility for the choices you make in your life.
Yeah.
And if drugs are being delivered to your house and you didn't call the cops and turn the person in, you're an accomplice to whatever that crime is. And I'm not saying that all of us should be, narking everybody out at every last turn for everything. I'm just saying, if you're involved in nefarious activities, unfortunately, someday there may be consequences. And I don't think losing your life is, one that should have happened to her. But unfortunately, okay. So our kid just came down in the middle, so I paused it.
So what I was going to say, though, is either way, the events that are unfolding right this moment are in no way justifying or justice for anything that has happened. Well, that's what I keep saying.
Well, you were talking Piper in again. Somebody... Here, let me find it again. I just opened Facebook up here, and I think one of the problems we have right now is we are letting the mob shout everybody down. Because right now, I mean, we don't have to keep going on about what we just said. I mean, obviously, it's an unfortunate situation. If you're going to have drugs delivered to your apartment, whether it's knowingly or unknowingly. Obviously, you knew your ex-boyfriend was a drug dealer, I'm assuming.
John's talking weird because he's scrolling through his phone trying to find whatever he's talking about.
So, it's people like this, and you're going to sigh, I'm not going to mention the name, that are posting stupid shit. The most white privileged person, one of the most white privileged people I know, who has lived small town and has never had, probably faced much adversity in their life, and I don't know. But
wow.
Yeah. And the problem is, my first instinct is to tell that person, why don't you go fuck yourself? You're absolutely wrong, but instantly you're labeled as a racist or whatever. And I feel like we're at a tipping point where the mob basically shouts everybody down. So you don't want to lose your job. You don't want to lose your, if you're standing in the community. I mean, what this person just posted basically was, if you think that what happened in
the grand jury decision
today was right, then fuck you, you're a piece of shit, unfriend me. I never
absolutely straight out said that.
I never want to see you again. I don't want to talk to you.
Remove yourself from my friend list.
Right. And again, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But it's, I kind of put it in the same vein as if you're on the back of your boyfriend's crotch rocket and he's speeding and somebody runs a red light and pulls out in front of him. All right, couple things. Obviously, the other person's at fault, but obviously you're on the back of a crotch rocket with somebody doing 100 mile an hour.
Yeah.
You made a decision to put yourself in a dangerous environment.
Well.
And the other person made a mistake. Maybe they pulled out in front of you on purpose. Whatever it is, you engaged in a risky behavior. And risky behaviors have consequences.
That's kind of a shitty example, because if you're going 100 miles an hour on a crotch rocket because your boyfriend's driving it, as the passenger, there's not a whole lot you can do there.
You could be totally...
You could, jump off? I don't think you're going to jump off.
Beating on him. You're right.
If you beat him and he'll wreck it, then you're going to die anyway.
Now you're getting all riled up and you're too loud.
All right, so let's talk about other shit.
No,
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I'm trying to move your mic, but it's not moving.
It's fine.
It's not fine because it's
Maybe
spiking.
people want to hear me too much.
Well, they want to hear you, but they don't want to hear you blowing up
Maybe they do.
their speakers. No,
Maybe they do.
Nobody wants to hear you blowing up their speakers.
Hashtag, I want to hear Pam.
If I had headphones, I could tell whether this was modulating, but I forgot to bring headphones home.
It's all okay.
But anyways, one of the things that I find troublesome with all this is and it goes with the coronavirus, it goes with the Black Lives shit, it goes with all the Me Too stuff. There's so many of these things that regular people have just been beat into submission, and they won't speak up, they won't mention shit. Like, how many businesses have put Black Lives Matter shit on their businesses? Or came out and like, yeah, Black Lives Matter, in hopes that they just don't get fucking...
Well, maybe they truly believe it too. I mean, everybody does, but... I feel like everyone does.
I'm tired of watching those videos of the people that are just peacefully eating their dinner, and the mobs just come over and make them raise their fists or kneel or say Black Lives Matter, and they just go along with it because they're scared shitless, and they're just trying to avoid the mob. And I'm
yeah, that's not right.
And then the people who stand up to the mob are usually the ones that end up getting arrested. Like, you won't go to jail if you burn down somebody else's business, but you will go to jail if you open your business to feed your family.
Yeah.
And it's insanity. I'm fucking over it. And I feel like we keep hearing this silent majority shit. Silent majority, silent majority. Well, it's time for those people to quit being silent. Quit putting up with this shit.
Well, listen, it's September 23rd. The election is November 3rd. Can you imagine where we're headed? from here till there.
I don't see, unless something bananas happens, like there's some unifying thing in the next couple months, which I don't, who knows. 2020 has been a real doozy so far for surprise shit. I don't really see.
The aliens are going to land and say, listen, this is what we need to do.
You remember that thing? Do, 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 do. Remember that one alien thing?
What?
I'm the only one. Somebody will know it.
All right.
But I just don't see any way that this gets better. If so, Trump appoints a justice on Saturday. People are going to flip out and riot. They've already been saying they're going to riot.
That's what he's supposed to do. Am I right?
Right. If
oh my God.
Trump wins the election, there's going to be rioting. If Biden wins the election, everybody's going to think they cheated, and there's going to be, no matter who wins, somebody's going to think they cheated.
So what else do we have to talk about besides the imminent demise of our country?
You don't want to talk about any politics stuff at all?
No. We did that last time, and a majority of this so far.
Well, what do you want to talk about then?
I don't know.
You can't just say, I want to
You're
talk
the
about
host.
I know,
It's
but
John.
I'm interviewing you.
John says things. You interview me every week.
Well, then why don't you come with some topics?
Why don't you come with some guests?
Nobody wants to do this. They think that...
Oh, we also forgot to mention, can we just do a quick tutorial? Because there are people from the Facebook that have tried to listen to this on their phone, and it only works for a second until your phone goes off. So what you have to do is hit the little download button that looks like an arrow pointing down into a box. If you push that button from the web page that John Says Things goes to, if you click the link, then it will download it to your phone. You can hit play, and it doesn't matter if your phone goes off. Goes off meaning goes,
This seems like a tutorial for people that have already figured this out.
What do you mean?
Well, if they're hearing it right now.
Right now, yeah,
they've already figured it out. Maybe you should write
I
this
meant
up.
to do it like in the beginning.
Although
but
maybe
I forgot.
Maybe there's somebody sitting around
Struggling,
just
turning
with their
their phone on every time. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I need to spend a little bit of time. There's a way to push this to iTunes in a few different places so that it plays in the player.
Yeah.
I think you might have to have an app to get it. Maybe I'll look at this tomorrow.
Okay.
But I think there's an app you can have podcasts in. It's the Libsyn podcast. But anyways, there is a way to get this to somewhere. And I don't know if it's on iTunes. I don't think it is. I don't think I went through all the hoopla because you have to do a whole bunch of shit and submit it to iTunes. And
Okay.
But why, you worried that your mom's not hearing this or what?
Oh my God. No, I'm not worried about that at all.
Your mom blows my mind. So I know our mom's not listening to this.
Yeah.
I would be blown away if your mom made it this far into this. But
No.
she has in a computer, a PC
From
that your dad bought before he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty badass computer at the time.
Lisa paid for a new monitor, but I don't think the tower's been replaced since.
And how long has your dad been gone?
He passed away in 2013.
That's not funny, but it's funny how old that computer is, because he had it for at least 2 years before that.
Probably, yeah.
So your mom's rocking probably an old Windows XP, maybe even Windows 7 desktop.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Windows 10, but either way,
is it updated?
it still shits the bed on a continuous basis.
And all she uses it for is Facebook.
Yes.
And it's a continual battle.
Yeah.
And I love that she doesn't understand.
Nope.
No, she's 80-something, okay?
3. Yeah.
83. So she doesn't understand the difference between Messenger
Yep.
and Facebook. Like the other day, she posted your sister on Facebook. Lisa, can you tell me how much money I have in my Northwest account?
Sure, Mom.
Oh, it's
Publicly
so funny.
posted.
And then we've been trying to get her an iPad.
Right, but okay, so the irony to the rest of that statement was she posted that to Lisa publicly to her page, but would not give me her grocery list through Messenger, which I assured her was only a discussion between her and I that no one else can see. She wouldn't give me her grocery list because I have to keep going and getting her snacks and shit every week and a half or so because of COVID. They aren't allowed to go anywhere. She wouldn't give me that list through Messenger because she didn't want anyone to see it. So she wrote it all down and mailed it to me. And it took 4 days to get here from Bradford.
What's funny is, what do you think's on that list that she'd be embarrassed that somebody would see?
I don't know. I looked through the whole thing.
There's nothing on there that's remotely weird or unusual. It's not like you had to go to get goat teeth or something.
Publicly that you want your Northwest account balances. Like, oh my God. I just can't do it. But yes, no, I've tried to talk her into an iPad for 1,000 years and she just bitches at me. So, whatever.
When you think of Facebook, do you think of it as like a place? Like, how do you think of...
What do you mean?
Like, how does Facebook and social media work in your mind? Like, how do you mentally see them?
As a time killer and a place to vent. Is that what you mean?
No.
I don't understand.
No. So, like, when somebody's posting on Facebook,
yeah,
do you see it like as... all right, I'll tell you how I see it. I see all the social media things in my mind as like a place. Like it's almost like
somewhere,
a physical place.
like a sign you would put in your front yard.
No, it seems more of like almost like a chat room / real place. Like there's all these people talking. Like Facebook seems to me like you're in a room with a bunch of people and they're like, look at my dog. This is funny. Fuck you if you think this.
Well, kinda.
And Twitter seems different and
they all seem the same
Instagram
to me.
seems different to me. Like they seem, in my mind, like physical places.
Really?
Not to you?
No, that's the autistic side of you.
Shut up.
That's the on the spectrum side of you that sees them as physical places versus just a list in a social media app.
So to you, it's like the same as a text message. Everything's the same as a text message.
Kinda. I mean, it's just information in a timeline of your day. I don't really see it as a place.
Really?
Yeah.
Because don't social media apps start... All right, so everybody knows that breathing is not me. It's Apple. Doesn't it seem like a place? It doesn't at all.
I don't like a place as in outside of like physical reality. I don't understand what you're saying.
No, I think it'd be more virtual reality.
Okay.
But Facebook has like a feel to it that's different than Twitter. That's
I'm
different
not on
than
Twitter.
Instagram.
I don't give a fuck about Twitter.
And you know what I love about Instagram? I've concluded that Instagram is for pussies.
Instagram for me. Go ahead. You had a thought forming there.
Well, I did because I see a lot of people who put Instagram stories in their, they put things in their Instagram story because it doesn't turn into a public debate.
All right.
If I see something that you write either politically or otherwise on Instagram,
in a story, you can't even comment on it.
You can comment on it, but it's just sending you a direct message on your story. As far as I know. I might be sounding like your mom right now, and everybody's like, "You can fucking see." Everybody can fucking see that.
I don't know. I don't
care.
But
I've noticed there are some people who will only post shit
Controversial
on their
shit
Instagram,
in
on their
stories.
Instagram stories because they get no pushback about it. Where some people, if you follow them on all the social medias, Twitter,
Right.
You never see them post anything anywhere else,
Right.
unless they're beating up on somebody that they.
I
think
agree
they
with
can
that.
beat up
So
on.
how does that equate to it being a place?
Because Instagram, to me, is like an art gallery where you're just
Yes.
holding up pictures of shit.
Yeah.
And
That's why I
same-
got Instagram. All my pretties are on there.
Yeah, there's cool shit
All
on
the people,
Instagram.
the painters and designers and stuff that I follow on
Yeah.
Instagram because I want to see their picture.
But the same as in an art gallery, if there's a picture that you're like, oh, this is kind of fucked up. Like there's no discussion there. It's not. It's putting out a thought or whatever and just being like, there it is.
Yeah.
I'm not willing to talk about this.
On stories, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems. Okay. But there's also Facebook stories, so. But it seems to be
But
Facebook is only for older people these days.
Facebook seems to stories seem to work like regular posts. I think you can just post right on them.
Maybe. I don't do
I'm not
stories.
sure. I don't know. I just got tired.
If you ever see a story from me, I hit it by
I
accident.
do that all the time. I'm like, oh, that's not what I
Yeah.
meant to do.
Yeah.
So are we old people?
I am. I'm 45.
We're fucking old.
I don't care. What's
But-
the alternative?
But what I was going to say was, so do you remember like when you first ever got on any new social media?
When I first got on Facebook, you made fun of me to no end. And it took you like 2 or 3 years before you got on.
That was a long time ago.
Yes, it was. And you're like, when do you need that far? I'm like, I don't know. I just want to see what it is. And you're like, oh, okay. And now
Sound
you're like
that, clearly.
Facebook king.
I wouldn't say king.
I wouldn't either. But
You just
that was
did.
just the word that came out. Yeah, I was on there before you.
Well,
You
it didn't
thought I
make
was a
any
jerk.
sense to me.
It still doesn't make sense, but it's something
Yeah,
to
it
do.
does. Yeah, it does. I kind of like being able to keep up with people and what's going on with their life.
You know what? I'm
see cool
totally
shit.
cool with. In a way, it's odd, but there's like when I work, I'm physically working all day long. I don't have time to be looking at my phone or any of that kind of shit. So people will be like, "Oh my God, did you say?" No, I didn't see anything. So I have to like catch up and stuff. So there are definitely times that I'm totally cool with not being caught up. But then there's other times, like tomorrow, the battery will probably go dead on my phone from looking at shit all day. Just because there's nothing better to do while Piper's at work and I have to go look at jobs and that's
Piper's
that.
working now.
Has to go to school.
So I downloaded TikTok last week.
God. Great.
Hilarious.
That's what everybody says, but I don't even want to.
Just do it. There's
Nah.
nothing to get. It's just the most
No, I
retarded
know.
videos,
I know.
one after another.
I don't need another thing. Because I hate it when like Piper's like, Dad, can I read to you? And you're like, sure. And 30 seconds in, you're just scrolling through your phone. Like, I'd rather just be in the moment. I don't need one more thing to look at.
That's a choice you're making.
Yes, absolutely.
So it doesn't matter how many apps you're on your phone.
I don't need something else to beckon me, is what I'm saying. I'm good. I have
I can
Facebook and
scroll-
Instagram.
I can
That's
scroll
it.
through Facebook or whatever I was looking at the other night when she was reading and still listening to what she's reading.
Yes, but she keeps looking up at you and you're staring down at your phone. Don't do that.
What do you want me to stare at when she reads?
Her.
That's weird.
Oh my God.
All right. Tomorrow night, eyes locked on her when she reads.
Only one night?
Why are you always busting my balls?
Because it needs busted in that area. Uh-oh.
Now they're blocking off a road.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's New York City. It's time to just start shooting these fucking people.
So it's going
Enough's enough.
outside of the Louisville area now,
Oh,
all
this
major
is-
cities?
LA, they have on TV.
Great.
We said we weren't going to talk about this.
Well,
Well, did you see today, just a total aside, going back, I guess, that a U-Haul van pulled up
yeah.
and people just started unloading
Signs and stuff.
signs and riot stuff and people are getting bats and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Well, and they're investigating who rented it, who
Financed it all.
filled it, what, you know.
And
But
then what's
any of the results of that will not be
and what drives me
made
nuts
public.
is look at all that. Look on TV.
Oh, God.
It's so ridiculous. The thing that drives me nuts is the whole Antifa versus QAnon stuff. You just got... I saw your eyes close like, oh no. So, in the media, I've seen nothing but... the media has done nothing but talk about how bad QAnon is and how dangerous they are and all this other shit. And how these Antifa people or Black Lives Matter, same people, are, you know, protesting and standing up and all this shit. Which seems curious to me, other than obviously I'm assuming the media has a slant. And I don't think, one of the things I think is funny is QAnon is this like giant group. It's almost saying like Republicans or Democrats. It's like painting a whole group with one brush. So for those that don't know, there's this mysterious fella Q who posts these things all the time. And what's funny is when you see these news stories, there's supposed to be a big 60 Minutes thing tonight about it. They talk about how it's a terrorist group and how they're dangerous and on and on and on. And if you go through the Q things, there's never one that calls for violence. There's never one that is anything but pro-American, against everything from government corruption to human trafficking, to pick some injustice against America in general. They're not even I saw one thing today that they said they're predictions. They're not even predictions. They're just like I don't know how to describe it. Supposedly it's somebody that has Q level clearance, which is one of the highest levels of government clearance, and is involved in all the inner workings of everything that's going on, and bringing information to the people to combat the Antifa and Black Lives Matter side of things. Because that's all going in a terrible way. And what blows my mind is there's all these news stories about how bad QAnon is, and it got banned from Twitter. So if you post on Twitter anything QAnon, it gets scrubbed. Facebook scrubs QAnon stuff, but you could post Black Lives Matter or Antifa stuff that we're assembling and burning this place, we're going to kill cops, we're going to shoot this, we're going to do that, and call for violence, it stays. It's very weird. There's a very clear bias in one direction, and it doesn't make any sense.
So, do you believe in the Q stuff?
I don't know. Again, you know, one of the things that comes out as a big Q thing is and I put it on the refrigerator at camp, is the where we go all
we go all
thing. And people always ask me about that. And I never explain the Q stuff at all. I'm just like, it's a saying that was on John F. Kennedy's boat that says, where we go one, we go all. And to me, it's a very unifying saying that where one American goes,
can't go wrong.
We all go there. Where if one American lands on the moon, we all landed on the moon. If one American gets killed in Iran or Iraq or somewhere, we all did. Like, it's all, we're together. We're Americans. And I feel like that's a very good message as opposed to the everything else that's out there. And it drives me nuts. So, of course, one of the funny things about that is, and I'm sure in the Black Lives Matter movement and Antifa, there's like a small segment of dipshits. There's also a segment of dipshits in the QAnon stuff that
I'm
I
sure.
call them Q-tards. It's the nuttiest shit you've ever seen in your entire life. Like, they'll see a number somewhere at a Trump rally,
Oh, yeah.
and then they'll have a thread that's a mile long about what that means, and aliens are landing and JFK Jr. is coming back, and all this nutty bullshit that is nothing to do with Q at all. It's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like that there's good guys on the whole thing of this.
The patriot end of things
Yes.
and all that kind of stuff, yeah. Well, I mean, that could never be like a bit, well, I guess I shouldn't say never, because there's some people that are a little
I'm tired of hearing people say
out there.
that we're all racist, this is a terrible country,
I know.
and yep, is there some problems? Absolutely. But you know what? I think it's a pretty good fucking country.
Yeah.
Not you? You going over to Antifa?
No. Nope. It was the dog.
Oh.
It's just I'm tired. Okay, so pretty much this whole year we've just had a feeling of unsettled. And you can feel it in your belly. It kind of makes your asshole pucker. Like, I'm tired of walking around with that feeling of, ugh, what is happening now? And what is going to happen next? It's like, our kids right now, they're back in school. At least here in Podunk, we're back in school all day, every day. None of this switching off bullshit. And everything seems to be going pretty swimmingly. Kids are wearing their masks like they're supposed to. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Kids are actually legitimately learning shit and having social interactions. Like, it just feels too good to be true. Like, I called in the summer that we would have 2 weeks of school before they shut it down. Well, thankfully, here we are, damn near to October, and we're still going strong. And I just hope it continues, because I cannot walk around with my asshole in a pucker very much longer.
It's the non-stop feeling.
Hashtag asshole pucker.
It's the non-ending feeling that everything you're doing is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you're doing.
And that because I chose to send my kid to school, now we're all gonna die. Like, I can't. I just can't. Maybe it's because I'm just tired, but it's just, I'm tired of it.
I just can't even anymore.
I know.
I'm so tired of people being. You know what's weird? Do you remember people talking politics when you were a kid?
Kind of. We were always sent out of the room.
Did it get heated?
I don't think.
Like, who would talk politics when you were a kid?
I don't even know. I wasn't really around for all that much.
Because usually
When adults got together in general, we were sent away.
Ah,
So.
that's probably what we should do.
Because it really didn't happen all that much.
Ah.
But.
Well, I just remember a few times when I was a kid and hearing my uncles go back and forth about politics or whatever. And especially a couple of the older uncles. What was funny is they would always be debating the brother-in-laws. Just
Go figure.
yeah, and but it was the same level of back and forth when you're just kind of going back and forth talking about whose football team's better, and you're throwing out stats and, well, this guy has a better quarterback. Well, obviously it's better. I think this person's better, or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of this weird fuck you if you don't think what I think. And I don't understand how that happened and how everybody's gotten so
Well, but there's also the
Bananas.
element of the whole world's going to end if we all don't all think the same. Oh,
I
it's
think,
a lot.
do you suppose it's because we have just news 24/7?
Yes.
You're
And social
constantly
media.
bombarded
That
by.
place you're talking about
Yeah.
that nobody should probably go to. I don't know.
I think we'll figure it out someday.
I hope so.
I feel like we're in a weird.
For our kids' sake.
I feel like we're in a weird space right now. To go from basically nothing in 2007-ish. There's, I think, some MySpace floating around then, and message boards.
Yeah.
You know, there's message boards from like the late
Chat groups and
yeah
stuff.
1990s.
I remember being in painting groups, like chat groups or whatever.
Yeah,
But it was so clunky and weird.
but everybody was relatively civil because the thing was, I think what's getting lost is you can't. You're not forced to be in a group of people who have opposing opinions. So when you were in a message board, so let's just say a painting message board, or I was in the truck or diesel ones all the time. If there was somebody that was a douchebag and they were wrong about something, there was a debate back and forth and be like, no, dude, you're
wrong by whose standard?
Well, I mean, factually wrong
Sir.
about something.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, there was always people talking about, you know, diesel engines. There's different theories of how to get them to run better.
Yeah.
But those theories get tried out, and some shit works and some stuff doesn't.
Right.
You know, and there's the age-old, some parts last better, and it's all subjective to how you're using it and things like that. But you're exposed to all those different opinions, and if you bought a part and it didn't work for you, you can say, this part didn't work for me. And the next guy would go, well, I bought it and it worked just fine. And the next guy, and then if it overwhelmingly became, this part is shit, then it would sway everybody's
It'd be
opinion.
something to look at.
Whereas now, especially like on social media, as soon as the first guy posted this part is shit, the guy that likes the part, I'm not going to be friends with that guy anymore. And you get rid of it, and then you're just stuck in this echo chamber of people that have likewise opinions.
Yeah. So it doesn't really get us anywhere.
It kind of reminds me of being, I always thought it was funny when I was younger and you worked with older people when I was like a teenager. And you'd all be sitting around the construction site at lunch and everybody be shooting the shit about something. And there's always a couple people that are more outspoken than the others. And they would go on about something, whatever it is, whether it's the boss on the job or what everybody's getting paid or politics or whatever it was. And everybody just sort of went along with it because they weren't confrontational. And then you'd get them away and they're like, you know, Joe's kind of fucking full of himself and full of shit.
Keyboard warriors or whatever are all confrontational now.
Right. Well, I was going to say...
Because you don't have to do it in person.
No. People were scared to speak up and they would just go along with shit.
Yeah.
Where I think in the past 10 years, people have been given a voice. And what's really weird is when you finally... everybody wants to be especially I see these young kids, they want real injustice to fight against.
Yeah.
And when they can't find any, it seems like they're just kind of inventing it.
Kind of.
You know what I mean? Like, I see what they want to do, and they're just trying to find reasons to be upset instead of just being like, oh, shit's pretty good. I don't know. Somebody's like, well, you think somebody getting killed's good? No, I don't. But overall.
Of course not.
Overall, it's good.
So what topics do you think people would like to hear us talk about?
Well, I don't know.
We should ask.
Well, we did last week and nobody said anything.
We did ask last week?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I remember that.
Give us some topics.
Yeah.
And
but also, someone volunteered to come and talk to John about this.
Who?
No, I'm imploring people to come and
I thought you meant somebody did.
Be a guest other than myself.
Well, you don't want to do this anymore?
Yeah, I'm just like right now it's
3 weeks in a
11:30
row
and I'm
you're out?
tired. No, I'm just tired.
We don't have to do anything tomorrow. Like, you got a day off.
Really, bro?
I'm
I
just
have
saying.
to do all the housework. Silence. While you're over there with your pursed lips in judgment.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying.
And I do have to do shit tomorrow.
I know, but you could still find room for a little nappy in the morning. And you will.
Okay.
See, now we're off track. Now we don't got nothing to talk about.
Because you're all fucking judgmental.
I am not judgmental.
You are.
All right, what do you want to talk about?
Nothing. I'm done.
So it's over.
Yeah. We went an hour.
Not quite.
Almost. Close enough that maybe if it's less than an hour, more people would listen.
I doubt it.
Well,
I
we'll
doubt
see.
it matters. I think if we were talking about interesting shit instead of bickering about how much time
I
you
do in a
spend
day?
awake or how much you'll do tomorrow, more people might listen.
Well, maybe you shouldn't fucking mouth off.
I wasn't mouthing off. Jesus Christ, you know, woman? I fucking set all this up just for you.
Okay.
Well, okay, maybe I thought I screwed this up, but maybe I didn't. I hope I didn't. All right, I just have end music starting. It's the
Okay.
end. The podcast is over.
So we would love to hear ideas on what to talk about.
Sad
okay.
Hulk music.
What?
It's sad Hulk music.
It's okay.
It's over.
It doesn't have to be.
Bye.
I mean, okay, bye.